Hey, Judge Napolitano here with sort of a pop-up for you. What's on my mind? I'll tell you what's on my mind. It's Friday afternoon, about 3:45 Eastern Time, December 10, 2021. Two profound legal issues are on my mind. The first is Jussie Smollett. Hey, you heard about that, heard about him. And the second is Julian Assange. We'll start with Jussie. The actor from the Fox show Empire was accused of staging an attack on himself for whatever reason he thought he'd benefit from it, whether it was to impress his public or to induce sympathy from his producers. And the prosecutor in Chicago decided not to press charges. It is, of course, a crime to stage a crime, and that's what the original charge was. But in the act of being accused of staging a crime, Jussie gave so many false statements to the police that they became infuriated and sued him for $175,000, which is what they said their overtime was, running down these rabbit holes of versions of these events that Jussie had given him. The local prosecutor decided not to prosecute him, but to fine him the $10,000 he had posted for bail. However, his persistence, it's his own fault that this happened, his persistence in saying, they attacked me, I didn't concoct it, caused the judge to appoint a special prosecutor, Dan Webb, whom I know. Dan is the former federal prosecutor, the former, U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, which is Chicago and the top half of the state of Illinois. And Dan summoned a grand jury, and the grand jury indicted Jussie not for concocting a crime, because he had already been relieved of that criminal prosecution, but for lying to the police. They charged them with 6 lies. Now, in my view, it's very problematic to charge somebody with lying to the police. Well, why is that? Because the police are allowed to lie to you in order to trick you into saying what they want you to say. So you're in a conversation with a cop. The cop's allowed to lie to you, but if you lie to the cop, it's a crime. Not in every state. It is in the federal system if you lie to an FBI agent, and it certainly is in Illinois. But it was Jussie's persistence. If he had just said, okay, I made it up, let's forget about it, I'll make a public statement, I was wrong, I wasn't thinking properly. His persistence in lying is what caused the state to prosecute him, especially the lies in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary. The 2 guys that supposedly beat him up had records of payments to him and text messages and email communication showing the planning and concocting of this. Anyway, he was tried this week on 6 lies and was convicted on 5 of them. One of them, the jury decided it wasn't a lie. He now faces 3 years in jail. And in my opinion, he should spend some time in jail because he materially disrupted the justice system in Chicago and assaulted people's faith in the justice system. However, the rules for sentencing in Chicago indicate that this level of crime, lying to the police, especially when they knew they were being lied to by a person who does not have a criminal record, and Jussie does not have a criminal record, the indication is no jail time, probably 3 to 5 years of probation and a few hundred hours of community service. This tore the city of Chicago apart, and it tore apart the African-American community. I have friends in the African-American community that stood up for this guy, and now they want him prosecuted for perjury, which still could happen. It is clear that he lied under oath. Is the government going to go after him again? I don't think so, but they have the basis for doing it. Julian Assange, in my opinion, is an American hero. He risked his life to expose truthful information, and his exposition of that truthful information is protected by the Constitution in a case known as the Pentagon Papers. Julian Assange is the co-founder and the head of WikiLeaks. In that capacity, he received information from a person who stole it. That person went to jail and then was eventually pardoned by President Obama. But when you're in the media, when you're in the business of conveying the truth or conveying an opinion, and you receive information that is materially of interest to the public, there is no crime in publishing it. The First Amendment protects you. What did he publish? He published the fact that the American military knowingly killed civilians in Afghanistan, and the drone operators laughed about it. This was extremely embarrassing to the Bush administration. There are many other things that he published, but this is the heart of what he published. He made his way, he was indicted by a federal grand jury in Northern Virginia. That's the government's favorite place to indict people who are not in the United States at the time of the indictment, because for some strange reason, the government rarely loses cases tried in Alexandria, Virginia. He made his way to London. He lived in the London, you probably know this story, he lived in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for 7 years. They eventually threw him out. He was arrested by British authorities on an extradition warrant by the United States. So the issue is, should he be extradited to the United States? In my opinion, he absolutely should not be. The CIA planned to kill him, and the government of Great Britain is going to extradite him to the United States. That is just plain wrong. And revealing the truth, an awful, painful truth about what the government has done, is not only not a crime, it's a public service. The first judge to hear the case ruled that he was not a candidate for extradition because harm would come to him in the United States. That was appealed to a two-judge panel early this morning, New York time. The two judges ruled that he can be extradited. He has 2 more appeals left in Great Britain, and I'm sure he will file both. I wish him well. I can't wait till he gets a ticker tape parade. Judge Napolitano with What's on My Mind. Have a great weekend.